What is up, everyone? Big, exciting day.
It's a super exciting day.
This is super exciting because, as you guys saw in the last video, we got this thing fully sealed up. The front end is fully refreshed. It's painted, it's underbody.
This is a brand new car.
Yeah, ish. Yeah, it's good.
Ish.
Yeah. We, neutralized the rust, loaded a bunch of plates on it, and then now it's good to go up. For the most part, we have some rust in the rear we still have to handle, but it's good enough now that we can actually get the drivetrain in the car, which is very exciting because we've had this thing in the background for a long time, and I've been dying to see it in the car. To finally have an S14 Not Shop SR drift car, oh, I'm in heaven. This is sick. So last time you guys saw that I said I was going to Florida, and I just got back from Florida late last night. I was down there at LZ's filming some content you guys will see come out on his channel in a little while. It's good stuff. It's a really good time, so be ready for that. While I was gone, the boys were working on Austin's car, trying to get that thing drift ready, and they filmed all of that, but we're not ready to drop the footage yet, so it'll probably be the next video, and hopefully you'll see, if everything works out as it should, you will see Austin's car get finished up, and then your first time drifting at the track, which is huge.
Yes, excited, nervous, but mostly excited.
I love that, because you've had that car for a while, and this has been a long time coming.
And this is the first time that this car will actually be mine, and I get to sling this bitch.
Yeah, it feels like yours now, finally, right?
Yeah, it does.
And I'm excited to take it for a few laps, and honestly, I'm hyped to just see you whip a JZX. It's a different experience.
I'm excited just to learn my own car.
Yeah, it's a good feeling, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay, cool. So, we got a lot of work to do today, so, well, let's get to it.
All right, Jimmy, so if I remember correctly, we were in Japan and you decided to grenade a couple transmissions.
Yeah.
So what's your solution for this?
So, as you guys know, there are quite a few different transmission options behind the SR, and the stock 5-speed is, well, not really much of a viable one. They're super weak. Maybe if you're making under 300 and you're running a small tire, you could run them, but they're getting really expensive, really hard to get, and they don't hold up. So, there's a couple different options. You can go RB big box, you can go Z33, you can go Z32. People have adapted other crazier trans, but I'm gonna keep it simple and use a CD09, which is a 350Z gearbox. We've used this on a couple engines before, and there's a couple reasons why. Big ass transmissions. So 350Z box, why do we do it, right? It's big, which is kind of a small downfall of it, but they're super strong. They're super easy to get, and they're decently affordable. We can get these things brand new at the dealer, and they're still in the lower 2000s, which is a lot of money, but if it's a one-time buy gearbox, it's not that bad. I blew up 2 5-speed gearboxes in Japan, and those things aren't cheap anymore.
And your CD in the Coupe has been going strong for a long time.
And the CD in the Coupe has been amazing. The first one that we changed, that was my fault that it broke because the clutch was going bad and we drove through it and whatever, but for now, boom. This thing should survive perfectly behind the SR, and what's nice about this is they're pretty short ratio compared to the Nissan transmissions or the older Nissan transmissions. It allows me to get away with running very simple gearing in the rear. Actually has a really good gearing balance versus having to find like a 4.6, a 4.3, or 4.9, which could be such a pain in the ass. Before we get right into that, I'm really excited to show off. We got our fresh batch of zinc bolts in. It's always fun to come home to this. So as you guys know, we accumulate a lot of hardware taking cars apart, and every once in a while we'll send them off to get zinced and refreshed because the hardware is really expensive, and this kind of gives it all a birthday. It was $150 to get this all done.
That's crazy.
That's insane. Think about how much like one bolt is. It's so annoying. So a lot of guys like the gold zinc. I like the blue silver zinc. I just think it looks more OEM, where the gold zinc is more of like trying to make a statement. So now we have all the hardware for the S13 and all the hardware for the Pro car that we were missing, which is very exciting. So all you guys have those giant bolt bins, find a zinc coater by you. It's honestly worth it. It'll save you so much money in the long run. Think about how much like a nut and a bolt is at the hardware store. That'd be $4. So obviously that transmission is meant for a VQ. It's not gonna bolt onto an SR. So of course we have to do a whole adapter setup to make it work. And of course this swap it's really expensive. Like I'm gonna be very transparent. It's very expensive to change the transmission to an SR, and that's a reason why people will just stick with the 5 speeds. But here's the thing, it's kind of a one and done, and I guess none of this stuff is cheap anymore. Like we kind of have to like.
Cars are just so ridiculously
this whole
expensive.
Thing sucks. Like all of this sucks. But that's why I'm trying to keep this as simple as possible and just do as much buy once, cry once as possible. And
hopefully it's set up forever.
Exactly. I'm sick of watching Tom break freaking 4 transmissions in a vent, and I'm trying to save myself the headache of that. So this adapter kit I got from Mazworks. It's the same kit that we have on the LS15, and honestly, I love the way it fits and feels. And so this is a full Belhausen conversion by Mazworks for the CD. which is really nice because I'm not a big fan of plate style adapter kits. You always get these crazy flywheels that always clunk and make a bunch of noise, and it makes everything tighter in your car, where if you can get a bell housing adapter, you always get a better fit and finish. Who uses packing peanuts anymore?
Packing peanuts.
It's like the freaking, it's like worse than glitter and anti-seize. Of course, the Masters kit, of course, comes with a new training mount too, which is really nice. Obviously, it's a different transmission, it needs a different mount, so. Instructions, just what we needed. All right, so we have this bolt-on bell housing with a non-bolt-on bell housing trans. Be nice if it was like a T56 where it just unbolts. This would be a very short process, but we have to cut this entire thing off right now, which is super fun. So let's do it. Okay, so they said, what did they say, 1/4 inch? So we're supposed to cut, not there, but here. You know what? We'll eyeball it. That looks like 1/4 inch, right? That looks good to me. Just a hair, keep rotating it.
I'm about to rotate this thing right off the lift.
My bad. Oh, okay, that worked. Well, there she is. There is the CD housing right there. Give that to the scrap guy. So now we need a place for our new bell housing to bolt onto, right? And there's no bolts on the outside. But if you look, the faceplate here for the input shaft are going to be our new mounting point for our new bell housing. So what we're doing is we have to make sure that this is cut enough that when the bell housing is bolted to this, it doesn't get stopped. So you look, we did pretty good for the most part. I'm gonna come through with a flapper wheel, give us some more room to make sure we don't have an issue seating the new bell housing. All right, so we're not done cutting yet. So right now our input shaft is too long. This is really long. So it'll bottom out in the crank, so we have to knob off. Cut off, knob off, that sounds weird. So we need to cut off 3/8 of an inch. Right. There we go. Happy little cuts. Surprisingly straight. All right, we have to cut a little angle into it though, or else it's gonna be a nightmare to slip into the pilot bearing.
So you have to taper the end?
Yep, exactly. I wish it was a front rack. Exciting stuff, all new everything. That feels good to see. Like, that's the first part
That's going back in the car.
This is the first progression from shell, right? So we love to see it. But we have everything prepped pretty good, so it should come together quite fast. We're gonna get all the big stuff in, and I got to go through and figure out what I forgot to order, right? Sick. You always feel guilty like throwing, this is brand new.
From the factory.
But it's like, what do you do? Like, does anyone replace these? Just in the scrap bin.
Gasket.
Packing peanuts. Clean your surface. I definitely cut a lot. I wasn't playing games. The bottom ones, I'm pretty sure, are straight through in the casing, so we have to RTV the threads on these. Just showing you, so we don't get a bunch of comments saying, Jimmy, you f***ed up again. So now at this point, we can install it as if it's just a typical SR transmission. So we have the SR clutch fork, SR throw-up bearing, and we need the SR pivot ball, which I gotta go steal from the transmission real quick. Which is really nice now, because we could just use a standard SR clutch, which is cool. It's cool to think that this spline is the same as a SR spline. Nissan didn't change much in
30 years.
20 years. Yeah, whatever. The only thing on top of that too is if you look at the shifter linkage, it's really long. Like this is super far away from the engine. So you need a different shifter. So the price adds up. It gets expensive quick, right? And if you're putting this in a street car, you gotta be careful because these hang really low, especially in S13s. So if you're slammed,
Might not be the best option.
you could, the coupe, remember how low the coupe was? I took the transmission mounts and I raised them in the chassis. You could do that, it's a job, but you know, this car won't be slammed, so I'm not worried about it, but just keep that in mind. There we go. Come on, Grease, grease, grease. It's a lot of metal on metal, so the more grease you can get in here, the better. Go crazy with it and then clean it up afterwards. Trust me, it just works better. It's literally a piece of steel just sliding on aluminum its whole life, so, you know, it seems like a good thing to set up for failure if you don't lube it well. I always forget which way this goes. I think everyone does. That looks right? Get in there. Yeah, you see what's going on here? See how this works? Slave cylinder pushes, this pushes on the pressure plate and releases the clutch. Just like that. Blob of grease. We don't want this on the spline, so let's clean this up. Well, there's a bunch of different shifters that they make for the C to fit them in other chassis. I like the Serial 9 one the best. It's the tightest fitting one, and so it leaves you room to really figure out how you want your shifter to sit versus having to cut a big ass hole. Some people don't like it because it's too tight, but I've gotten really used to it, and it's another piece that is just way too freaking expensive, but this is a really like one and done kind of buy. I've had really good luck with these things. Now this thing is officially SRS chassis ready. Mint. This thing's also really nice too because with this shifter, we didn't have to cut any part of the shifter hole in the S15, which was huge. I refused to cut that car, so. SR ready. So let's get the thing off, let's get the SR off the stand and get the clutch attached to it. But I just realized that I haven't talked about the engine at all. So I assume you guys have seen it in previous videos. We talked about it, but if you haven't, right here is an S14 SR, not shop, which is really nice. It has a VTC gear, which of course is really good for the low end. This is just a simple piston rod engine, still just 9-to-1 compression. Valve springs, retainers, some light cams, nothing crazy. It's a simple package. This is kind of what you need these days, right? Like stock SRs, they're very fatigued, they're hard to get, they're not really worth pushing anymore because if you grenade it, trying to push it to the moon, being 30 years old, you're out a lot of money. So this is like what I consider the bare minimum now. We're gonna make low fours, G25, R-Tech manifolds. It's gonna feel absolutely amazing. The car's gonna be light, it's gonna be nimble, it's just gonna work, and I'm really excited for it. We got the Greddy intake on it. And of course, we'll have the D-Storage fuel system, link everything, so you guys know how it goes. So, Yashio factory valve cover that I got when I was in Japan. It's just simple and good.
Car gonna be running before mine.
Hey, at least yours rolls.
We're getting there.
It even stops.
Yeah?
Yeah, I just have the hydro, nothing else.
Oh, okay. We're all here trying to help you, so we'll get it. I think you just got to figure out what you're doing for a trans, and then we're chilling.
Yeah, no, I'm just.
You don't got a spare trans laying around?
Yeah, I said you could take one of my small boxes, but do you want to do it once or twice, you know?
Who knows?
If you guys haven't seen it, Brian has been building his very own S chassis on DJ channel. We've been trying to help him out as much as we can, and I think it's been going pretty good. We have all hands on deck.
Oh, it's been going amazing. It went from a pile of shit to a full rolling chassis in 3 weeks. Yeah.
I love it. It's so fun, like simultaneously building S chassis, and I can't wait to drive with you having similar cars. Like that's gonna be the best part ever because we have not gotten to drive enough together.
Yeah, that's true.
You've done. It's funny now because between Josh's car and your girlfriend's car, you have done more laps of the S chassis than anything at this point.
I've driven a lot of S chassis.
This will be a good season.
Yeah,
There you go, dude. OEM coil pack cover. No one ever has them for the notch tops, but they look so. If anyone has a couple of these good laying around, let me know.
Tom got you that one.
Yeah, T-Bone actually found this on Yahoo for me. But I don't know. The OEM cover looks so good on these things. No one has it. You still buy S13 ones brand new. Like, what is Nissan? Like, what? Who's in charge of that? You know. All right, quick little 2.5 hour interlude there. Finding a SR20 rear main seal locally was not easy. We had like 7 KA ones. We tore the entire shop apart, but we're here. We're good. Nothing's worse than just having the smallest part hold you up.
Sentra SR rear main seal.
Yep, Sentra. You gotta get it for a Sentra in the States, but I mean, they're so old now that like they're getting hard to find, so. And then last piece, we have our pilot bearing, which is the bearing that the snout of the transmission actually sits in. So this presses into our crank, and they have brass ones. You'll see the brass ones very commonly, but Nismo sells a needle bearing one, which is supposed to be a lot better. So comes with this tool to help set our depth, because it has to sit a little bit deeper than OEM. Boom, bottom it out. We're good to go. Let's get the clutch on. Flywheel, and of course, if you have a backing plate, like the little engine dust shield, put it on, or else you'll have to cut it or take your clutch off, which happens all the time. Anything that spins, put Loctite on it, because you don't want it coming loose. Okay. Get this thing all clean. I wonder how many clutches I've installed in my life at this point. Like, it feels like this is like, I feel like I've done this a million times. You guys should be clutch installing experts at this point. So you're probably wondering, what clutch did Jimmy go with? So I wanted to go with the twin disc on this car. I love the feel of twin discs, and well, the only twin disc that we could find in stock that I had faith in was the competition clutch twin disc. Everything was a little bit on back order, so we went with the comp clutch. I don't know anyone running this specific clutch.
I'm a big comp guy.
But we've had good luck with the comp stuff, so we're gonna use it and see what happens.
That's all I ever ran in drag racing.
Really?
Yeah.
Here's a big point I'll always make. So we have this alignment tool, right, which is supposed to simulate the snout of the crank, and obviously there's a lot of movement in here. And if it's crooked, it makes getting your transmission on a living nightmare. So really you need yourself or someone to keep this centered as you tighten it. So your life is a lot easier when trying to see the transmission, especially if the engine's still in the car. We're just gonna walk this thing on. And then I'll keep checking if it can come out a little bit or not. Will come out a little bit. Yeah, see, perfect. As long as it can come out nice and easy, your transmission will go on nice and easy. Nothing's worse than trying to pull your bell housing on with like your bell housing bolts. Really sketchy. Don't do it. We've all done it. And then these take a little bit more to seat, so you kind of really have to walk them in. Cool. Let's get the trans on. All right, it's either gonna go right in or fight us for 10 minutes. We'll find out how good of a job we kept that thing center. This thing's probably twice the weight of a stock SR box. Okay, you ready? So, I think it's going in.
It's just a dowel pin.
Yeah, maybe you wire wheel your rusty dowel pins before you, but I think we're good. I think we're in. Now that dowel pin's gotta be too big or something. Yeah, dude, it's like 15 thou too big.
Should I bust a drill out?
Obviously dowel pins are supposed to be tight, but.
Not for a drift car.
What was that?
Not for a drift car.
Oh, definitely for a drift car. Precision machine work. All right, lift the tail up, shake it in. There you go. That's the tricky part about twin discs. You have two clutch discs you have to go through. We're definitely through the first one. It looks like it's fighting us in that second one, but.
Would you look at that? Would you look at that?
Look at that! All right, so we quickly found out the aftermarket style trans mounts don't fit because they're too big, but the OEM style S13 trans mount bolts right on, which is really, really cool. So, I don't know if Nissan did that on purpose or...
They were thinking ahead, right to the future.
I don't know. They're like, yeah, let's use the same bushing we've been using for 25 years. I swear this thing feels heavier than a Jay-Z with that damn TV on there.
This crane has seen so many engines in the past year.
It's kind of nuts. Oh, exciting moment. The anticipation is killing me.
Jimmy finally gets an SR drift car.
We love this. I love this. You got a 4-cylinder turbo too, come on.
Yeah, but it's better than SR.
There's nothing exciting about this. Wait till I run his car over. We good? You good? You gonna clear it, Mr. Muscles? Randy, you're on damage prevention.
Drops it on the rat.
Boom, Randy, come on.
I'm on it. I'm on it. Drops it right on the rat support.
Use them hands. The crane is so crooked. These casters. Viper chair. Do you guys make an engine crane? I feel like you should. Jimmy Oaks collab with Viper chair. We make like the nicest rolling engine crane ever.
Or you just make one that rolls sideways just for
old time's sake.
This thing, even the crane wants to drift. You know what I mean?
Welcome home.
I haven't ate all day, smoked all day, slaving away.
I gotta just have a food bowl out for spoon like a Chihuahua.
One of those timed bowls that drops.
Yeah, exactly.
But he knows when it's gonna drop, so he just goes and waits by it.
No, it'll be like a hamster one, so you can hit the button and it just keeps coming out.
The level of disrespect from you guys.
It'll just drop out like chicken nuggets.
Yeah, just dino nuggets. Just
I'm gonna just let this thing go and let it total the bay. Overworked and underfed.
okay. Push it in. It's ready to get the mounts in. That's a good look. That's exciting to see. It's been a long time. That feels good.
Come on, we gotta put the pink cover on.
I know. Okay, we're gonna bolt the trans up, and we can see what the pink cover on. I'm already really. The black is already looking a lot better to me. It looks a lot more subtle. It looked a little too like ashy before, but it's working. Maybe like do some pinstripe in here. I think it'd be kind of cool.
All
A
right,
little touch.
hot boy.
I think it'd be cool. I mean, it's not a lot of work. It's just like little details, you know.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
Anyone in Connecticut good like pinstriping guy?
Yeah, and wants to do my roof as well.
You want to do your roof pinstripe?
Yeah.
I'll do it for you.
You want to do it, Randy? Yeah. In Australia, you're a hell of a pinstriper, right? You know, known.
I'm known for it.
Known from coast to coast to coast.
Heard it here.
Heard it here. And like I said before, the shifter lines up beautiful with the 09. Just spent $1 million. You got it? Yes, sir. Oh, it feels so good, dude. I guess it's in there. It's officially in there. The reason it's not bolted on is because I'm still waiting for my trigger kit, but that looks so good. That makes the black look like it. You don't even care about the black.
No,
Just look at
you
that.
just focus right what's in the middle.
Unless the engine just popped. It's so nice. That feels so good.
Sick.
Can't use my transformation title because I used it on the last one. There's gonna be a lot of transformations on this thing. All right, guys, I'm just trying to give views. Come on. God, does that look good? That feels really good. Trying to build like my ultimate simple S chassis, right? This is what I'm considering it. Like it is simple.
It's
like
simple.
I mean, besides all the stitch ones and stuff like that, it's gonna be all bolt-on stuff, and it's all gonna be easy stuff. No like crazy
shelf.
It's gonna be all off the shelf stuff, and no intricate, no nothing, no easy.
Yo, my American reaction?
Let's hear it.
Oh my god, that's amazing!
That's pretty
good.
spot on.
Show my Australian one.
Ooh, it's spicy!
So before we finish up for the day, I want to throw in one more piece because it always looks so complete when you get a radiator in this thing. And of course, Phoenix radiators, or call them Phoenix Cooling, Phoenix Performance. Make all our cooling products. They're our boys from down under. They're in New Zealand, and they have been supporting us amazingly this year. We've been having the radiators, intercoolers, oil coolers in all the cars, and they have done us so good. And of course, we have their products on the new Coupe. So we got a fresh radiator. They do a bunch of couplers in there. Oh, they sent me a black one? No way.
Oh, that's cool.
Usually I don't like black radiators because they look really like, they always use a really bad finish and it kind of looks cheap. But this, look at that.
That's sick.
Look how juicy this thing is too. Look how nice this thing is. A little bleeding port on top. The little NPT on top too if we want to vent that to an expansion tank. Okay, I'm hyped. This thing is really nice. Kind of goes crazy in the black engine bay.
It does, honestly. The way it's like a reverse of what it usually is.
Yeah, right?
With the Phoenix actually in silver.
looks sick.
Yeah, that's actually really
That's dope. Okay, I don't have the OEM bushings, but GK Tech radiator mounts. What's really nice too is the fact that GK Tech makes like every single part for these cars. I'm able to kind of have a one-stop shop and just get GK Tech everything. A lot of room between the engine and the radiator, so it's nice that we can actually put a beefier radiator in here.
God, this thing looks like it's made for a Mack truck.
Yeah, it's sick. This is good though. I mean, like, we put some radiator hose on it, and we get to that point where it looks like just needs a tune, you know?
Almost there.
Almost there.
Almost time to list it on Marketplace.
We have so much work ahead of us, but dude, a huge step is done. The fact that the chassis is prepped enough that we were able to put the drivetrain in is massive. You guys saw what this car was. So now we have the big part in, and I could start tinkering on the side and doing my after hours things, my weekend things to get this thing dialed up. I'm trying to get together as fast as possible with every spare moment we got. So I've taken some time away from the other projects to get this together, but now that the bigger hurdles are done, I could do my 20 minutes, 30 minutes here all the time and really get some things done. So we'll probably film some of the bigger bits on this, but you guys will see in the background of the video, this car will be coming more and more together. We have Austin's first attempt this weekend, so we have to get your car ready tonight and tomorrow, and then hopefully we could jump right back into Porsche content because I am dying to work on that car. Next week we're going to finally mount the engine on our new subframe in the Porsche Roddy, or the Ferrari. Porsche Roddy.
Porsche Roddy. It's not too bad
It's not
either.
too bad, right? Feels really, really good to come home from Florida last night and get this done. So we got a lot of work ahead of us on everything else, but for now, you guys know the deal. Stay excited, like, comment, subscribe, stay tuned for more content, and we'll see you guys very shortly.
Say